Hello class, I welcome you all to this session. This session is the second class of business studies. Okay, so this class we are going to discuss the first chapter, that is the nature and purpose of business. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through the first chapter, that is the evolution and fundamentals of business, a part of first chapter. Okay, so we are going to learn what is the meaning of business and what is the various economic activity as well as non-economic activity. So without much delay, we will talk about business. What is business? See, the ability of keeping oneself busy to earn profits is called as business. Okay, so business refers to an activity related to purchase, production, sales, exchange of goods or services with a view to earn profits. So this element is very important. Without profits there is no business. Okay, so purchase, production, sale or exchange. Okay, now I want you to imagine yourself that you want to set up a ice cream factory. Okay, so you just want to set up a ice cream factory. Now how will you go about doing this? Like first you need to have your raw materials. Your raw materials need to be converted into finished products, that is your ice creams. There is a number of process in between converting the raw material into finished products, and this activity can be purchased. Now what do you need to purchase? You need raw material, which may be milk, cream, sugar or any sort of stabilizers, and all those things are called as raw material. Then production process, you need some equipments, obviously. You need some machines to process that particular thing, so obviously you require that. And then finally there should be a sale. There should be a sale to the customers. So you need to give your products to the customers, and there is an exchange always. What is the exchange? You give the product, customers will give you money. Am I right? So there is an exchange of goods or services. You are selling ice creams. Okay, suppose you want to do a service. Say for example, beauty parlor. You just want to open up a beauty parlor, so that is a service done to the customers. Okay, so purchase of what materials? You may require some facial kits or equipments to do hairstyling and all those things, and you may require some employees. So you are just having a purchase. What is production? You literally do not produce, you just provide the service. Okay, and then you sell. There is a value for your every service. Yeah, for straightening there's one cost, for smoothing there's one cost, for facial there's one cost. So what is your cost? You sell to the customers, and then exchange, the customer return your money, and that money includes your profits. So all these things is called, so ability of one person to keep himself busy is called as business. Okay, now human activities can be classified into two things: economic activity as well as non-economic activity. Economic activity are further classified into business, profession and employment. Business means it can be, some of the examples are farming. You do farming. You just cultivate rice, paddy field. There's some output at the end of the season. You sell that output and you make profits. So that is farming. Okay, and then you have manufacturing. I told you, remember the example of ice cream. You manufacture the ice cream, you sell it to the customers. So that is called as manufacturing. Then construction means what? Construction of building, dams, some infrastructure facilities. All these things comes under construction. There are some service sectors also. Business, hotel and hotel management and all those things are called as service sectors. Insurance and all these things are service sectors. So business consists of all these elements. So we have understood what is business, and it is an economic activity. When do you call something as an economic activity? If you are able to earn money. when you're able to earn money on a regular basis. Okay, that's when you call something as an economic activity. Okay, on a regular basis is very, very important. So you want to earn money. In business we call this as profits. In profession we call this as fees or charges or commission, whatever name that is. So that is called as an employment. You call that as wages and salaries. I'm coming to employment later. Now we have to discuss profession. Now what is profession? Profession means I have given some examples, right? Medical means who is a medical. Doctors are a particular profession. Legal, you have lawyers, you have teaching. Teaching is also a profession. So you have teachers, you have professors, you have subject experts and all those people, and you have accounting. Accounting, you have the chartered accountants, cost and management accountants, company secretary. So all these are called as profession. Now for acquiring this profession you need to go through a particular process or go through a series of examination to acquire knowledge. Okay, it's not that everyone who wants to just name themselves as doctor, they can become doctor. They have to write an exam, they have to study a particular subject matter to become a doctor. For chartered accountants you have institute called as Institute of Chartered Accountants of India near Nungambakkam. You need to get yourself registered as a student. Then you have to finish your foundation, inter and final. Between inter and final you have the articleship period where you get the practical exposure of doing things. So only when you're completing the final you will be called as a chartered accountant. So it involves a series of process. It involves acquiring of knowledge and skills to call yourself as a profession. Okay, so that is called as profession. Now what is this? This is employment. Employment means what? You're working for some other people. You have an employer and employee relationship. You work for some other people. Okay, so workers, if you're suppose employed in a factory, you have unskilled laborers, you have semi-skilled laborers. Laborers means they are doing day-to-day activities. Per day they will be able to produce. In pottery business or in sort of small scale industry, cottage business, the uduvatti, lighting, all these things and all, they will produce on a pack basis. Okay, on piece basis. Per day if you produce 100 pieces you will get per piece 5 rupees. Like that the wages will be determined. So that is called as wages. Okay, and then employees are salary based people. Say for example in the banking sector you have salaried employees who are working. They get a month on month basis, they get a salary. It depends on what type of employment that they are in. Either it can be worker or it can be a employee. So worker means wages and employees means it is salary. Now there are something called as non-economic activity. Can you see this? Non-economic activity. Now what are the non-economic activity? It can be religious, it can be social, it can be parental, it can be patriotic. See, it's very small, that's why I have written it again. So patriotic means you are really proud to be an Indian. You have the basically desapatru. Okay, so you have all feeling towards your motherland. You have a very high sense of responsibility to your motherland. Then it is called as patriotic. Okay, so those things are not having any value in terms of money. I'm not talking about, they do not have any value at all. In terms of money you cannot call something as a value. Religion you cannot turn into money terms value. Okay, so if at all you follow any religion, then it is part of your sentiments, it is part of your belief, and it is part of your value system, and doesn't relate it with money. Okay, then social means say for example you are socially related with so and so people, your friends, your relatives, your your peers. So all these things are social. You do some help to them, you do some activities to keep yourself entertained, or to do some sort of social activities. Those things are not economic, they are not economic in nature. It's only for pleasure and happiness for you. So it is not related with money. And paternal, your parents doing some sort of benefit to you. Your parents are paying your fees, your parents are sending you to so and so classes, your parents make you to do some sort of work, okay, at home. I'm not talking about the serious kind of work, maybe they will give you some light household works. So all these things cannot be, you cannot charge them, obviously they will be giving one mandela or kottu, no, if you charge them and all. So some parents are very sweet, they literally give some savings pocket money, so maybe it will be a rewarding factor to you. But all these things are called as a completely non-economic activity. Mother cooking for her children cannot be converted into money terms. Okay, if a maid comes and cooks for your family, then that is business activity. She is doing a business. Okay, she is doing a business for you. So she is providing you a service. Okay, and that is called as business. Okay, now we are going to discuss the detailed definition of business: occupation in which people regularly engage in activities relating to purchase, production and or sale of goods and services with a view to earning profits by satisfying needs of other people. Now, satisfying the needs of whom? Not yourself, not your own needs, but needs of other people. There are a lot of jewelry shops that is there. Okay, there are a lot of clothing shops that is there, textile businesses. Okay, you need to wear good outfits if you want to go to a function. Then you immediately go to a your favorite textile, say it Max or Trends, or for guys it may be men fashion or something, some sort of textile showroom. You go and you purchase things. They are satisfying whose need? Your need. So it is other people need. Okay, and it is a regular activity. Now you need to understand the keywords. Business should be regularly done. Once in a while I am doing this, then that is not a business. Say for example, sometimes at home, no, you will have this old newspapers and all piled up. Okay, once in a while, maybe monthly once or monthly twice or 2 months once, you will be just taking it to the old paper shop, and you will be getting some money out of it. Okay, that and all cannot be called as a business. Okay, so it has to be done in a regular basis. If you are doing it for daily basis, then it will be called as a business. Okay, then PPS, what is that? It should be either purchase, production or sale. Purchase, production or sale of what? Goods and services, or both. Okay, and it is for what? It is for earning profits, not any other cost. No, you're not doing social service. Now you're not doing social service. You're doing something in expectation of return. Return is called as a profit. Okay, you just provide the service. In beauty parlor, the parlor lady, or in saloon and all, the person whoever cutting your hair or doing your styles, all these people are doing a service in expectation of a return. They will charge you heavily. Yes, they will charge you heavily, and you will also happily pay and come. So that's a different story. So earning profit is a motive. Okay, then you have to satisfy the needs of other people. It's not that satisfying your own needs, it is the needs of satisfying other people. So these are the key words of business. Then what is profession? Profession, as I told you, it is an economic activity that requires special knowledge. What it requires? It requires special knowledge, and skill to be applied in the occupation. So these professional people will have a separate thing called as guidelines, code of conduct and ethics. Now what is this? Guidelines, code of conduct and ethics. Doctors will have a particular code of conduct. apart from their own personal life or personal things, whatever, whenever they see a life which is in danger, they have to save it. That is the basic ideology of any doctor. Okay. And for chartered accountant, it is whatever it is, if you are auditing a financial statement, you have to make sure that the financial statement is reflecting a true and fair view. If it is not reflecting a true and fair, you supposed to give a opinion saying that this statement does not give a true and fair view. Okay, so we are coming to that later. So it is just a guidelines. What is guidelines? You have a professional body for taking care of a Indian medical body, Indian Medical Associations of India. You have the Bar Council for lawyers. You have the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for CAs. So all these has a professional bodies. Okay, they govern. Their activities are regulated by these profession, and they get the membership number from this professional body. So they have to have a specialized knowledge. So persons who are called as professionals. Okay, they carry on profession. They are called as professionals. Okay, so coming to a conclusion, profession, when do you call something as a profession? When they undergo a special kind of knowledge and skill, and they have this ECG. They have to follow ethics, code of conduct and guidelines. Ethics, code of conduct and guidelines, and they are called as professionals. Now you have something called as employment. Employment means people work for others people work for others and get remuneration. What is remuneration? Remuneration can be in the form of wages and salaries. We have discussed that already. So they are working for others. It is a remuneration, and there should be an employee and employer relationship. That's very important. If there is no employee and employer relationship, then you cannot call it as employment. The second part of the today's discussion is characteristics of business or features. Now this is again a repetition of business definition. Business is defined as an economic activity involving the production and the sale of goods or services undertaken with the motive of earning profits by satisfying human needs in society. So again and again it's like repeating the same thing. Economic activity involving production, sale of goods or services undertaken with the motive of earning profits to satisfy other people's need, that is the human needs in society. So first characteristics is an economic activity. It should be an economic activity, the objective being the profits. Okay, the objective being the profits. It involves what? It involves what? It involves sale, purchase, exchange. Okay, for what? For getting profit. Done. Then it uses all the resources that are available. So resources that are available. What are the resources? Land, human resource, HR, you have machines. All these things are examples of resources. By utilizing all these resources, they will be doing an economic activity, thereby they will produce. Then you have the second characteristics as production or procurement of goods and services. So production, procurement. Manufacturing, what is manufacturing? You have the raw materials. Raw materials, you undergo a process, manufacturing process, and thereby you have the finished goods. What is FG? Finished goods. Okay, so raw materials, process, finished goods. Suppose you want to produce sugar. What is the raw material? Sugar cane is the raw material. You undergo a process of filtering. Okay, you do whatever process, thereby you get sugar. So that is the process. Trading is purchase and sale of goods. This is called as trading. Trading, when you repeatedly purchasing and selling of goods, your retail shops that is there, okay, near your residence, Reliance Fresh or Nilgiris, or big bazaar, all these things are, they are traders. They are trading, they are purchasing and they are reselling it. They are purchasing, they are selling it. They are purchasing, they are selling it. So by which they make profits. Okay. So services is, you have banking, insurance, legal, or all other professional services, consultancy services, and all these things are called as services. Okay, these are all service sectors. So you have the production and procurement of goods and services that has been involved. So if at all you in this, what is the procurement, if you ask, they will procure some sort of softwares or some sort of professional books. Okay, so all these things are procurement of goods in that. Okay, so first one is an economic activity, the second one is production or procurement of goods and services. The third one is the sale or exchange of goods and services for the satisfaction of human needs. So it is a sale, there is always a sale or exchange of goods in business. Okay, so sale or exchange of goods or services or both. Then the fourth one is dealing in goods and services on a regular basis. As I told you, it should be regular. One single transaction of sale or purchases does not constitute a business. This is very, very important. So ஒரே ஒரு transaction, only one transaction you had in a year, then that cannot be called as a business. Okay, it should be regularly done, then only you can call it as a business. Then there should be a profit element. Profit earning is very important, that is equated to the success of the business. If you have more profits, obviously you have more success. If you have less profits, it is more or less no success, like that. So selling price of anything will be equal to cost price plus profits. So suppose you take an example of Trimax cost around 50 to 55. I'm just taking as 50. Suppose the cost of manufacturing this pen is 30 and the company has kept 20 rupees profit per pen. So obviously your selling price will include this cost price. Cost price means cost of producing a particular product. Cost of producing this pen will be 30. Okay, and the profit element, the margin I keep, okay, is 20. So selling price will include cost price plus profits. So profits through services is a modern concept of business. You have any business that's going on, you have to have importance, you have to give importance to service sector. Say for example, you get a AC. Okay, there is something called as annual maintenance scheme or warranty guarantee scheme. The company does not just like that sell the AC and tells Tata bye bye to you. It's not like that. They have a annual maintenance contract that is being signed. The professional come and service the products regularly and go. That is also a part of, so that is called as profit through services. Okay, through services also they get profits. Okay, and you have the uncertainty of returns. In business, it is always uncertainty of profits that is being coming. Possibility of losses is always there. Especially in this time, there is always a possibility of loss that may occur, because there is a complete lockdown. Business are getting affected, so possibility of losses. Then you see this investment. When you're making investment, you call that as employment of investment into the business, and thereby you seek profit, or sometimes there will be a losses also. Okay, and the seventh one is the element of risk. See, uncertainty of reward or the possibility of losses. Future is always uncertain. You cannot say that 10 years down the line how will your business be. That's really uncertain. No one predicted COVID-19. Yes, no one thought that this kind of pandemic will occur in the business, will hit the business world. But it has happened. It is highly uncertain when this particular COVID thing will go, when there is something called as a vaccine that's been found. World is eagerly waiting for that. We do not know. The future is uncertain. So uncertainty of reward, that is uncertainty of profit, or there may be a possibility of losses. Okay, so I'll just brief you about some sort of risk that is there. What are the risk? Risk may be change in consumer taste and preference. Say for example, you may previously like wearing Indian wear. Okay, now you may like Western wear. Okay, in the future you may like fusion. Okay, which is a combination of Indian wear and Western wear. So changes in the customer taste and preference and fashion always keeps changing. That poses a risk to the business. Okay, and there can be strikes and lockdowns that is being done by laborers and employees. You have this banking industry that's going on in frequent strikes. Employees of banks and all come to strike, teachers come to strike, government teachers come to strike. So all these things are affecting the business. It is risk for the business. Day to day production cannot happen. Then you have the increase competition. Obviously increased competition is a risk to the business. You have so many fast food chains that's been operating. You have so many eateries that is there. Those are all competitors. Okay, so that poses a risk. There can be fire, sudden catch up of fire. Chennai Silks, what happened to Chennai Silks? It caught up fire. The properties, I mean the entire building was collapsed. Obviously they have revived and come, but that is a fire that's happened and the entire godown, entire thing has lost. But one thing they did was insurance. They insured the goods and it covered the risk. It is called as fire insurance, marine insurance. Those insurance are called as general insurance. Okay, it's not called as life insurance. Life insurance is totally different. It is called as general insurance. Insurance against theft, that is burglary. So theft, so accidents that may arise in the factory premises or in the retail outlets. So all these things are risk to the business, so it is uncertain. So we have learned what is the meaning and characteristics of business. I'll see you in the next class. Keep taking notes and reading it again and again. Any doubts you can ask me. Thank you, class.